for the first half. We're going to pause in the middle so that we can switch narrators and the night animals can come out. Just a little warning.
Life in a New Jersey forest. It is a warm spring day, and the sun is just beginning to rise in the quiet mist oak forest in northern New Jersey. Little Brown Bat has made the long journey back from the hibernacle he shares with the other brown bats in the south. He is tired, but he is also feeling hungry.
He's going to roost upside down in a huge hollow oak for the day. But before he goes, he swoops out over the nearby pine to catch some of the hundreds of tiny gnats swarming there. He catches them in his mouth as he flies and gulps them down. Then he zooms off through the forest to find his sleeping spot.
Ruby-throated hummingbird has also returned to this forest after his incredible migration back from Central America. He will spend the summer here and then fly south again in the fall.
As the sun rises, Chipmunk pokes her head out of her burrow. She has been sleeping there for the winter, waking up once in a while to eat some of the seeds and acorns she gathered last fall. She quickly looks around for predators who might eat her. When she sees it's safe, she brings out a large acorn from her burrow and sits in the sun nibbling on it.
Garter snake has also waked up from her hibernation in a large hole inside an old rock wall. She is cold and stiff as she slithers slowly onto a large flat rock and basks in the sun.
She warms her cold body until she can move a little faster and find something to eat, like a worm or a little fish from the pond.
Over behind a birch tree, Porcupine is slouching toward her den. She has been awake all night, and she's tired. She doesn't notice the hungry red fox out hunting for prey. He sees Porcupine and leaps toward her. She finally sees him and quickly turns around, swinging her tail full of sharp quills. Her tail smacks Fox right in the face, and a quill sticks in his nose.
He howls. It really hurts. And he runs off, stopping to try to wipe the quill away with his paw. Porcupine calmly continues on her way, going to sleep all day in her den.
White-tailed deer enters the clearing, looking for some juicy plants to eat. She finds some new grass and pulls it up with her strong teeth, looking around for danger as she chews it up. Then she wanders, looking for more fresh, green-growing plants. All winter, she had to live on bark and twigs, and the fresh green tastes wonderful to her.
As she leaves, she's startled by a downy woodpecker flying right by her head. She leaps away, her white tail up like a warning flag.
Woodpecker flies to a nearby maple tree and pecks loudly at a rotting spot on its trunk. He's looking for the grubs that are just under the bark, eating the rotting wood. He finds a big one and gulps it down. He pecks some more. But soon he is finished there and leaves.
Hummingbird is back and zips over to the woodpecker's tree. He flies to the spot where the woodpecker was drilling with his sharp beak. His long tongue licks at the sap that's dripping out of the hole. He needs the sap in the spring because so few flowers are blooming yet. When his tiny belly is full, he zooms away.
Garter snake has eaten a lot of minnows in the pond over the few past days, and her skin is feeling very tight. She begins rubbing her nose on the corner of the rough rock. Her old skin gets loose and starts to peel off. It takes a while for her to wiggle out of that old skin. When it's finally off, she slithers away into the forest in her shiny new skin, which was underneath the old one all the time.
Woodpecker zooms back into the clearing with another grub in his beak. He flies to his nest in a hollow tree where his babies are screaming for food. He stuffs the grub down one baby's throat, while the others are still screaming. He quickly flies to get grubs for the others. It's hard work.
Just then, a hungry gray squirrel scurries into the clearing. He uses his good memory to find a place where he put his precious treasure of nuts and seeds. He digs out a fat walnut and gobbles it down, deeply enjoying it. Squirrel freezes as red-tailed hawk soars overhead, and his gray fur blends into the gray tree trunk like camouflage.
The hawk doesn't see him and soars over the pond just as hungry hummingbird is heading for a flower full of nectar. Hawk dives for the hummingbird and misses as he zigzags away. Hawk quickly snatches up a black snake near the water's edge. He screeches with triumph as he flies away.
Squirrel scrambles up the tree and into his den as the late afternoon sky suddenly darkens and enormous clouds move overhead. Hawk swoops low as heavy raindrops begin to fall. Thunder rumbles and lightning flashes as animals scurry for shelter.
All right, I need the thunderstorm musicians to go to their places.
Dusk is falling as the thunderstorm moves on into the distance.
White-tailed deer returns and feeds on some yellow flowers growing in the middle of the clearing. She freezes with nervousness as she hears the shots of hunters in the distance and gives the alarm to other animals with her white tail as she sprints away.